Hi, I'm Dr. Ben Quist, and I'm here today to talk to you about 3 exercises to potentially avoid or be very cautious of in the gym. Now, these 3 exercises that I'm going to describe are at the higher end of the risk spectrum, and it's not that they don't have benefit, but that they're just a lot more dangerous and could cause you some potential injuries. So if you are going to do these 3 exercises I'm going to mention in a moment, you just need to have a reason that you're doing them. I actually see somebody doing one of the 3. Come on this way. Hurry up. Jeremiah! It's not what it looks like. Hey, you're doing one of the 3. So the first exercise on my list of 3 to potentially be cautious of or avoid in the gym is a straight bar deadlift. Now, there are several reasons why you need to be cautious of this particular exercise. And the first and foremost is that many people do not have the range of motion in their body to successfully take a bar to the floor and back up in proper form. Hamstring is stretching until it can't stretch anymore. And then the only place Jeremiah can get motion is by then posterior tilting or flexing at the back and the pelvis. So that's problem number 1 that occurs. The second thing is that when you use a straight bar and you lift it up, the line of pull, or where you can bring that bar in relation to your body, is going to be a lot further forward, which is going to put a lot more pressure onto the lower back when you're lifting up. And the injuries that you're going to get with the deadlift are some of the most horrific ones. So those are the burst discs, they're the herniations, the bulge discs. They're usually the ones where my staff and I are walking people back into our therapy clinics and they're crying. So you don't want one of those. So all I'm saying, the straight bar deadlift, is that maybe if you're not doing it for a specific reason, like you're a power lifter or something of that nature, pick a safer way to deadlift. And let's go through a few of those right now. Here are a few safer alternatives for the straight bar deadlift. First one is going to be the kettlebell deadlift. So the reason this one is safer is because the weight is so much closer to your body, so it's going to put a lot less pressure on the low back, leading to less chance of a lower back injury. To complete this exercise, you're going to be hinging forward at the hip. You're going to be maintaining spine neutral the entire way through the motion. And then from there, shoulder blades down and back, driving through your heels, pressing the weight up, and then bringing it right back down. If you need a heavier weight with this, you can always switch to doing 2 kettlebells at the same time, coming up and through. And then if the allure of the straight bar deadlift was that you're able to use a ton of weight, which creates a lot of stimulus to build more muscle tissue, a much safer alternative is going to be the trap bar deadlift. Again, the reason that this is a lot safer is it distributes the weight around the body versus the weight being forward of the body with that line of pull that's really intense on the lower back. The mechanics of all the movements are pretty much the same. It's just where that line of pull hits your body. So I would just prefer to see you doing one of these 2 instead of the straight bar deadlift, unless there is a very important reason that you are doing that exercise. Okay, so now that you have some safer options for deadlifting, let's go into exercise number 2. Look around here. Oh, someone's doing that one too. Come on over here. Jeremiah, you're doing the second one. All right, so the second exercise I do not like to see people in the gym doing is the upright row. And this particular exercise doesn't have very high value as far as muscle building or strength building components to it, and it also is high risk. I sometimes, as a physical therapist, will go throughout the gyms that we own and hand out cards to individuals doing this exercise, knowing that they'll need my services in the very near future. Now, with the upright row, the reason that it is so detrimental is it puts you directly into what we call the range of motion of impingement under load in the shoulder. So the test that we use to actually test for rotator cuff impingement is called the empty can test, where you internally rotate the shoulder, raise it up, and then the therapist puts pressure on your arm, and if you feel pain back through into that rotator cuff, we know there's a problem. When you look at the upright row, you are basically directly in that empty can position under load. So if you have those types of shoulders that have the propensity to get that type of injury, over time, you're going to be sawing away at that rotator cuff, causing irritation and a potential tear or a potential rotator cuff tendonitis. So please don't do that exercise at all. I don't think there's any value to it. Check out our video on the 5 best exercises to do in the gym to build muscle to see a much better alternative. Okay. All right, I changed my mind. I'm going to show you a better alternative right now. Come on over here. All right, so for an alternative shoulder exercise to the upright row, one that I really like is the Arnold Press. Made popular by Arnold Schwarzenegger way back in the 1980s. With this exercise, you grab dumbbells, typically done in a seated or standing position, bring the weights to the front of the body. So this is the first thing I like about the exercise, is that the weights are not to the side. So in the front position of the body, you can press up and not move through that range of motion of impingement, so it's much safer on the shoulder. As you press up, you rotate your palms to face forward and then rotate back into the beginning position, repeating that for however many reps you're going to be doing. The second thing I like about the exercise is that it's working large portions of the shoulder. You're hitting the side delt, the front delt, triceps, all that good stuff. So it's a great substitution or alternative shoulder exercise. So in thinking about exercise number 3, oh my God. Someone's doing it. Here, come on, this way. Let's go over here. Let's check this out. Jeremiah, you're doing all of the bad exercises. He's doing this one too.
This is the worst workout I've had.
I'm surprised. Are you injured? How are you feeling? Are you okay?
Everything hurts.
Everything hurts. Everything hurts. So for exercise number 3 on my list of 3 exercises is to be cautious of or potentially avoid in the gym, flat bench press is another one of those exercises. So if you've been someone who's been in the gym for many decades like I have, you'll notice one thing. There are not too many people in their 40s, 50s, 60s that are flat bar benching anymore. I always got to look behind me. I never know what this guy's doing. So, and there's a reason for that. Flat bar bench, could you please stop working your biceps?
Okay.
Okay guys, do not pay attention to him, focus on me. So there's a reason for that. Because the flat bar bench puts so much pressure on your AC joint in that position that it basically grinds that joint down over time on many people. So you might be fine with that exercise through your 20s, your 30s, even into your 40s, but eventually you're going to potentially end up with some arthritic conditions in that AC joint. In addition to the fact that many times, because you are in that range of motion of impingement with flat bar bench, you can end up with rotator cuff issues as well. So all I'm saying is there are safer ways to build your pecs, triceps, and shoulders than the flat bar bench. And let's discuss a few of those right now. Get over here and show them how to do the bench press safer.
All right. This is how you do a dumbbell bench. All right. Keys for dumbbell bench press. We want 5 points of contact, 1, 2. That is feet. We want our butt, and we want each shoulder pinned down. That's all 5. What I'm going to first do is tilt my pinkies downward slightly, and that's actually the same angle that I want my arm to move down at. So it's down and apart. Dumbbells come down above the elbow and then up and together, dumbbells over the shoulders. To stay out of that impingement zone so we don't hurt that AC joint or really our whole shoulder in general, we pull our shoulders down and backward, pin them to the bench so I'm in shoulder blade neutral. And again, that pinky down, down and apart, up and together. Down and apart, up and together.
Very nice. So it's just a much safer way to accomplish the same goal as a flat bar bench. All right, have you learned something today about not injuring yourself?
Yeah, so the exercises always have good alternatives that are lower risk.
Yeah, that's all we're saying is pick the exercise with the best benefit with the lowest risk. And it's only because we care about you guys and gals. We don't want to see you getting hurt. We want to see you old with gray hair, still coming into the gym, still lifting good weights, still being strong, not being crippled, shambling around, damaged, hurt, not being able to get off the toilet, okay? We want you strong and fit. So thank you for watching. We appreciate your time. If there's any videos you'd like to see Jeremiah create in the future, please comment below. We'd love to do those for you, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Subscribe.
And like.
Like and subscribe. And hit the notifications bell. What do they say? Slam that notifications bell.
Punch it.
Punch it. Touch the notifications bell.
Let's just keep going.